Move out of the way.
So, Amy, we are recording. Feel free to at any time, whenever you feel like you're in the mood.
In the mood. I'm never in the mood.
To force you to do
What?
And that's her intro.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to the boxer, where Amy has died a little bit more inside because I'm being forced to do this, as always, by Jonathan.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a bastard I
Yeah,
am.
it's good. Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
overdue.
you prick.
Yes, very.
It's bi-monthly. Bi-monthly. I managed to get it down to a bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
That was my
When
wish.
was the last one?
Okay.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
bi-monthly
bi-monthly
means.
Bi-monthly is every 2 months. Technically,
designed to
I'm
be
early. I'm not due until the end of the month. Anyway, well, we'll bring that conversation offline. So this month for the box set, we are doing guilty pleasures. Woo! Not mine, because I'm not guilty about any of mine. I will happily wear the shame on this one. So what we're going to do is I have the Nerds Are Us, the Nerds Are Us nerds are joining us today. We've got Jonathan, we've got Dennis, we've got Gerry, we've got Aine, and we have Foxy. Dennis doesn't want to start because Dennis has been a bit of a stick in the mud on all this. So I'm going to base it on...
Very dare you.
I know, fuck you. I'm going to base this on the way my camera setup is, all right? So on this set, it would be Jonathan, Cutter, Gerry, Aine, Foxy.
Cool.
So that's the order that we're going to go on, all right? So, Jonathan, you have the joy of starting us off on this episode of Guilty Pleasures. And we did agree that we'll do the safe version first.
We did, yeah.
Because again, Dennis has too much shame and he's literally just trying to get drunk and psych himself up for the barrage of insults that I'm going to be throwing his way.
I have fucking CBD,
I
have alcohol. I'm fucking trying to just feel it in a while.
I was going to say, I was going to try and be really nice about this and we go, hey guys, this is a safe space and no judgment here.
No,
Bollocks to that. It's actually not a safe space and there is judgment here because I'm getting ready to judge. So Jonathan, we're going to let you start us off here. What is your first guilty pleasure?
Certainly. Well, I suppose I'll start off with one that a series that people don't expect me to like, in a sense, because like my own friends have this kind of like weird perception of the stuff that I would enjoy, and I always seem to let them down in terms of like what they think I would watch. So like they only know recently that I actually watched Star Trek, for example. That's just an idea of what they expected me. So one series that I've liked, and I haven't got the entire box set, like every series of it, which is painful considering there's 24 episodes of each series. It's 24. It's one of the things where like you'd expect me. I like stuff like good writing and good acting and good plots. 24 has none of them. None of them.
So this is actually the Kiefer Sutherland television show you're talking about.
Oh yes.
Huh.
It's really bad.
Yeah. What?
Oh my gosh, that's
really bad. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is the thing, right?
That's not a Jonathan show at all.
No, it's not. No, it is not. That's the beautiful thing. It's the fact that it's so like, it's like I have a few kind of like thoughts on stuff to mention on this podcast. 24 was top of the list because like in theory I shouldn't like the show. It's just so like fucking preposterous that in a way like my logic center should shut down and just hate the show automatically. But because it's so over the top and so daft and so paranoid and so full of like weird American like Arab people are scary, you know, it's all of that stuff. I just find like I love that that's just the weird like artifact of American like culture or of American like senses. The fact that like the terrorists are here and they are going to destroy us, and it's just a series of that every single time.
Well, don't forget, like this did actually start in 2001.
Oh yes, oh yeah, no, that's the thing. It was inspired by it. That's the thing. It was inspired by it. So that was the weird thing. So it's definitely one of the byproducts of that. But it's also the fact that like this stuff mechanically can't happen in a day, and that's what I love about it. Like there was a series where a nuclear bomb was dropped, a plane crashed, Jack Bauer died twice, and for some reason his daughter also nearly died, all in 24 hours. That's physically impossible. You know, so there's actually no sense. Quite
Not
literally, there's
for
no
Jack
sense of-
Bauer.
Oh.
I mean, in the life of Jack it's hard, man. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I liked
Like-
24. I don't think that's a guilty. Like, that wouldn't be a guilty. I enjoyed that.
I don't.
It's just
I-
actually available to stream on Disney Plus if you do want to enjoy the guilty pleasure. You can actually watch it on Disney
I have
Plus.
it all
It's on the.
DVD.
It's on Star.
I bought money on that.
I mean, for everyone else. I mean, for everyone else watching.
Yeah.
Anyone who
Are we
watches
sponsored
this,
by Disney?
no,
If
but I just
so-
happen to know. I just
No,
happen
the
to know that
Metro
it
rules.
is streaming. It is streaming on Disney Plus on the Star option. You can actually watch it there.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I know Gerry.
I-
Okay, so I know Gerry doesn't see this as a guilty pleasure. What about the rest of you? What's anyone else's view on this? Is
I
this,
never
like, was this-
watched. I never watched enough of 24 to make a judgment on it. It's not really in my wheelhouse. I will say the couple of facts I know about it is that apparently he says "damn it" a lot or something because he
Yeah.
couldn't curse, so they had to have him say something innocuous.
Yeah.
It seemed like a bit of a tired trope for a series that it's called 24, and yet how many seasons of it are there? So it
It's,
seems like they have to put him into a brand new thing
Yeah.
where he has 24 hours to do something every fucking time.
It's also the plot. But the plot of every series tried to outdo the other one. So like, the first one was fairly, like, comparatively quite innocuous, whereas the second one was, oh, the terrorists have a biological weapon. I was like, okay, grand.
Right.
Okay, we took biological off, right? What we do next season? Oh, we
And
do
sorry,
chemical.
it's not every episode is 24 hours. It's the season, is it?
It's
season is
one. Yeah,
24
every
hours.
season is
24
24 hours. So
Right,
like
right,
each
right,
episode is 1 hour of that day.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Which
Exactly.
I like that concept. I like that
It's a very good
idea.
concept. Yeah, it's a very good concept.
Like,
I
I
like
do
the
like the
concept for
idea
maybe
of,
a
like-
season, but I
Yeah,
just,
yeah, that's the
how do you write it after that?
That's the. You see, that's the kicker.
Badly,
then.
apparently,
Like,
according to Jonathan, badly.
Yeah. Oh no, don't get me wrong. Like the writing is like it's kind of one of those dramas where like it's designed to like just throw you off guard, just throw a plot twist every now and then. But some of them are hiding in plain sight, or some of them are just like, oh fuck, this character's back for no reason, and it is just like you have to switch your brain off for it. You just have to just go, okay, yeah, all right, this guy was clearly dead 5 years ago, but fuck it, he's here now. Must have renegotiated contract or something. But like an example of like this weird shit they used to pull was that like in the first series was all about Jack Bauer almost himself and his family and how they all got roped into whatever plot there was, and that was actually quite local in a weird way. Whereas the second one was like, then okay, there's a biological weapon on LA. Basically, all this happened in LA. Like Los Angeles is fucked in this universe. And then like in the third one, you know, because there's always a passage of time in between them where you assume Jack Bauer just has a normal life until shit kicks off again. And it always seems to coincide with the president doing something. It's funny how that works. But then you have like the second and third season in between. Then like Jack Bauer is undercover with a cartel, you know, like an Escobar-esque cartel in Mexico, and he has to have a heroin addiction to do it. So like one subplot throughout the whole thing is him trying to like, you know, go cold turkey off heroin, but he's actually just shooting up in the fucking office, which is hilarious considering you think of like counter-terrorist units. CCTV should also be in that office, but apparently not. Like, but yeah, like that's a shit they sort of used to pull. And I think in like just to throw people a massive curveball in the fifth series, they did actually launch a nuke in Los Angeles. Like she went off in LA, and it wasn't a case of just like, well, Jack Bauer didn't actually in fact save the day, and this city is now a massive ruin. But it's just so funny because all the periphery characters as well having their own like internal drama, and it's just like you lads have picked the wrong fucking day to split up or to have a family row or your fucking brother to get released from prison or some other shit like that. And then the president has something going on with him as well. And like, don't get me wrong, like sometimes the president characters are actually the kind of soundest ones. Like President Palmer was a great character because he was just so level. Like he's just such a sensible person. And the problem is like, he's surrounded by arseholes that want to stab him in the back. Oh, how will this play out over the next 16 hours? I wonder. You know, but
So do you like anger watch this show like judgmentally going, this is fucking
No, I
shit
think- I
while
think
watching
he
everything?
genuinely
I
enjoys it.
switch off. I love
Genuinely
it.
enjoys
Okay, fair enough.
Because I have to
Alright,
say,
okay,
I have
so-
the process with that I do with Line of Duty. Like Line of Duty is a very similar aspect where like they write it so that the plot twist gets you in the end. Like that's
Don't
that's
you
the case.
dare disrespect Line of Duty.
I fucking love
don't
Line of
you
Duty.
Dare
I
disrespect
love Line
Line
of
of
Duty.
Duty.
That's why I love it because of that one reason. Is the fact that like I don't have to like I don't want
The
to
Bill
contradict.
2.0.
Yeah.
Is
Oh.
Line of Duty your second guilty pleasure? Because if it is, I'm striking that off the list right
No,
now.
no, it's not. No, because I'm not guilty of it. I actually do fucking love that show. So like, why
Okay.
would I be guilty of it? 24 is
Okay,
just something I
right.
don't mention in conversation.
Okay, I'll admit. Okay, I actually am genuinely kind of shocked that 24 is even in your knowledge
List.
at this
Yes.
point. Like your list of things that you actually watch. I genuinely find that quite shocking because I liked like the first series, but I was a fan. I was about to say I was a whore for, but I was a fan of
A
Kiefer
lemon
Sutherland.
stealing whore.
Keeper stealing more, I think. was fine.
I like Kiefer Sutherland. I genuinely liked him as an actor, and I blame the Lost Boys for that. But yeah, so I mean, I kind of kept up with kind of shit that he had done. I want to move on. Dennis, what's his first guilty pleasure? Safe guilty pleasure.
Yeah, this one I'm not even remotely guilty about this one. It's an awful movie. But I watch it pretty regularly. I brought it up the other day and I sent a link to the ad in chat. Some may have seen it and some may have not. Saying The Room would be too easy. Of course I love The Room, but it's Birdemic, Shock and Terror.
Oh. That's a correct answer. Like that's
It's fucking terrible, but
Yeah.
it's meant to be a horror, but I laugh my ass off the whole way through the movie. It's the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. I'll watch it relatively regular. I watch it like every couple of months. The acting.
Sorry, is this a sexy lingerie model and successful software salesman going on a weekend getaway to a quaint Northern California town?
Yes. You need to see the ad that I sent to the chat a while back just to get it across. The acting is saying porn level acting would be taking a shot at porn actors. It's the worst acting you could imagine. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm going to the car. Want to come with me? Yeah.
This
and
has
the birds. My God, the birds. They're like
recreate the effect from Birdemic.
They're like clip art birds floating over people's heads.
Are they photoshopped in?
While they try and bat them away. And it's the best thing ever. And I love it.
Okay.
I think I actually have that bird effect on my editor. I think I can actually stick that in.
Now they did make
I had it when we were doing clip art in fucking schools before we actually knew what real computers could do.
They did make a sequel, right? But this was where they tried to obviously play it off as, oh no, we were totally in on the joke for that first one.
So like Samurai Cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we meant it as a joke. So now here's your jokey second movie. So the second movie shit, like in a bad way. But the first movie, they were definitely trying to be serious, and it shit in a fantastic way.
This holds a 1.8 rating on IMDb and an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's way more than I thought it would get.
Yeah.
It's like, as I said, you have to like be in a certain mood to watch it, but it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. I'm not even remotely guilty about loving it. I'll watch that shit all day. I love it.
So we're meant.
I don't know, Jonathan. You've seen it. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, or if you've seen the trailer. The trailer is kind of enough.
I've seen enough of Birdemic to know that like I can't really watch the full thing without being recorded doing it. There's not a way we need like a couple of beards, people in the room to experience it with you, so that not only nervous breakdown, everyone around you having their.
It's best done with at least one other person. The more the better. Because it's fantastic.
I do like that this is one particular review. Really awful, but strangely entertaining.
But it
Shock and
has
Terror is completely right. A movie so terrible it's fascinating.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah. I love that fucking movie. As I said, not even remotely guilty. My second choice, very guilty about it, but we'll get into that later. But this one, nah, I love Birdemic, and I will watch this shit out of that anytime. It's a thing. In fact, I think we all, when we can, should get together with drinks and crappy food and sit down and watch fucking Birdemic, and I think we'll have the fucking best night ever.
I really want to watch it now.
Yeah, you should.
I really want to watch it now.
Do you just really want to watch it because it's like human interaction?
we can put it on the list for a weekend at Amy's. Yes, that we can all
Yes.
just chill back and watch Birdemic.
And I
Um,
come, do.
Yeah,
Weekend
hell
at
yeah.
Yeah,
Amy's.
I'll
That just sounds
download it. I'll
wrong.
put it on the download list. I'll
There
put
you
it on
go.
the download list and we'll watch it.
there
Okay,
you go.
Birdemic, 10 grand. So shockingly shit, it's actually entertainingly good. Gerry, I know you have 3 guilty pleasures, so we'll go with one to start off, and then we can do a batter round.
It's I wouldn't be like the biggest like fan of this type of thing, but it was just I was like, no, I
If it's
don't want to watch
porn,
that. And then,
that's a lie.
no, it's
Oh
not
my god, I
porn.
was gonna say that, you fucker.
No,
No, that's
it's
not
not
true,
that.
Jerry.
We all know I love that. It's such trash TV that I just liked it. And I
Holy
didn't
shit,
like-
if you
I didn't-
say my choice, I'm gonna flip the fuck out. I'm gonna leave.
Shut up, Dennis! Shut up! Gerry,
you had
sorry,
your
continue.
chance. Okay, you had your chance, Dennis.
Yeah, you could have
Um,
gone with the shit one first.
I'm
I
amped up.
didn't want to watch it, and I was asked, "Would you watch it?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it." And I just got
What is it?
engrossed in it, and I was
What
big
is it?
brother.
Oh,
Which?
Oh,
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Gerry.
Big Brother.
Big brother.
like when
Oh,
okay,
no.
UK,
Like, it's
US.
so bad. UK, US was like really shit. Like you couldn't.
Was
watch
this
that
from the
shit.
very start, or was it? Did you come into it late?
Oh no, I watched everything.
Yo.
Oh.
I watched all of it.
Fucking hell, Gerry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I feel better. I feel better about my one.
I think I know what your one is now. I think I know what your second one is.
If you
I
guess
think-
it, I mean, fucking fair play because nobody has
His is-
ever guessed it.
I'm
His
not
is
going to guess
Coronation
it.
Street. It's
That's
got to
what-
be
It's
Coronation
not.
Street.
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
It's definitely
I'll
not.
take.
It's
If
reality
when I
TV.
say it, I will
It's a
take
reality-
Amy's word.
It's a
will take
reality
Amy's word.
TV show. I know that for fucking
Oh
sure
yes,
now.
it is. Yes.
It's fucking Love Island.
No.
Oh.
Oh my god! Can you imagine if
Okay.
it was that
And
just
you missed.
blows any of mine out of the water? Jesus.
Oh, okay. All right. First series of Big Brother, it was
Is it
basically a
Jersey Shore?
social experiment.
Yes. They just
Oh.
thought, let's just try this
Oh,
experiment.
I think
with
you got it.
people together and see it.
I think
What?
you got it.
Is it Jersey Shore? Oh! Dennis, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out right now.
I'll explain
you know
it
what?
later.
We're-
I'll explain it
you know what?
later.
We're gonna discuss Big Brother for like the next couple of minutes, and then we are going right back onto you, sir. We are going right back onto you. The first
This has
series
got a
of
free
Big
spin.
Brother was a social experiment.
Yes.
Okay, and I think everybody watched, and like the biggest drama that was on that was the fact that Nasty Nick was writing people's names on a fucking piece of paper.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Trying
The
to-
nasty Nick thing. I remember watching that first going, is this for real? Like what? He's actually what's he doing?
We were so
And then when they
engrossed in that.
when they confronted him and were like, where's my popcorn?
Yeah, like I
What
was,
happened, like,
I was bet into that
brilliant.
shit. Like
So this isn't the thing
The
you
man
like
Craig.
went back on, Jerry. This is like you watched this since the beginning, like live.
Oh, I watched it all. I watched every series up until the very last one. Yeah.
oh Jesus,
Yeah.
Jerry.
Mm.
What has that done to your fucking psyche? I mean, you have to. Well, I know you've got issues, but I mean, like this has got to have.
For
Like,
several months, Jerry would only speak in a Geordie accent and keep commentating over
I
his
just
life.
started, I was like, literally, I was just thinking, actually, I'm thinking, because I remember Craig was the very first winner. And like the only thing that I really remember is like, this week, I'd like to evict Sada. And like, that was all it ever was. And like, that was like the carpenter who became like a fucking TV star because of
Mm.
this. And actually, only one of Nikki Graham, she was in it as well. She only like recently passed
I
away, like in the last
watched-
couple of
She
days.
passed
I
away
watched
last
the
week.
old
Yeah.
ones. I
And
watched
she
the
by
old
far-
ones.
Yeah,
That was
the old
about
ones
it.
were great. Channel
Yeah.
4 were better than Channel 5.
Yes.
so much
Okay.
But
Yeah.
out of all of them, like Nikki was my favorite out of all of them. And she was
Who is
just
she? Who
amazing.
is she?
Yeah.
Who is she? Oh, she was so class. Oh,
very
That's not
sad
too
to see her
bad.
dying last week. Very sad.
yeah.
Mm.
Especially because she had she had awful hard life. She did. But Jesus, Jerry, can't believe you watched all of it. That was like 20 years worth of like reality TV. And Dennis, don't you dare think you're off the fucking hook either. That's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I did have
Did
one.
you
that I was gonna
ever-
do.
Did you ever want to be on Big Brother?
Ooh, there's a good question.
Did anyone ever want to be on the show?
Fuck no.
I thought
God,
if I
no.
went on, I'd win.
I think I know of one person who applied for Big Brother. And I think
Really?
Probably, yeah. No, it's not someone I know personally. I think I know of someone in the wrestling community that applied for it.
Was it Gerry?
Who?
Was it
No, it
Lego?
wasn't Gerry.
Was
Justy,
it Lego?
Was it? Oh, it's
Justy.
Justy. Yeah, it was Justy.
Just
Oh
think.
my
Oh, no,
God,
that
can you
would
imagine if
that
he
would
got
have made
it?
me.
He
That
would have
made me
been
tune in.
entertaining as
That would have
fuck.
made me tune in. That would have made
Yeah.
it worthwhile watching.
Oh
Like
my
I
God,
watch
could
everyone
you
would watch that.
imagine what he would have fucking done?
He would have won. Like he wouldn't have
won.
caused absolute uproar, but he would have won.
Yeah.
Let's not lie here. The only
No, I
time
think-
he'll
Everybody
probably be
would have
booked
been
as a
like, "No,
headline
keep him
main
in
event, and he
there."
would
Does-
have managed to do it.
Ooh, and does Celebrity Big Brother fall into the purview of what you watched as well, Gerry, or is it just like Big Brother?
Yes, I watched Celebrity Big Brother as well.
Because the only thing I know about Celebrity Big Brother is that whole thing with like, what's her name?
David,
Roxanne. Roxanne something.
Oh, when she accused Ryan Thomas of
Yeah,
like
and
punching
he just
her or
like
something
he
like that. Yeah,
he was messing with her and all that. And I remember
like,
everybody
love,
losing
it
their
was
mind
caught
over
on
that.
camera.
Yeah.
It was caught on camera, and you're like, you literally accused man of of beating you, and like everyone turned against him, and then it was just like they showed everyone the footage, and everyone was like, "Wow!" It's a very kind of Mark Twain like notice of my death has been greatly exaggerated type situations here, like. Oh, she was a fucking melt. I hate her in fucking Emmerdale as well. She was a twat.
A lot of them were
One
melts.
good thing about Big Brother was the fact that like any like celebrities that you kind of heard of were made into like complete and utter twats. Like John Crerick was a big one, wasn't he? Like he just was a
Sorry,
absolute
he was a
yeah,
twat anyway.
horrible.
Sorry,
He
no,
was
he was a
horrible.
horrible
Yeah, he was
human being.
terrible.
Even when they did wife swap, and he
Yeah.
was just himself, you're just kind of like, you disgusting cretin. Like you
Yeah.
actually, ugh.
So
The
Gerry,
reason why
if,
you stick to horses' arses, like
Yeah.
you
If
want
you-
a horse's arse.
if you had to go back over all of Big Brother, right?
Which was your favorite?
Or what was even your favorite moment?
Oh God!
Like that really kind of sticks that you were like, oh fuck, this is brilliant telly. You know?
It would probably be. I know I said Nikki was my favorite, but in terms of the celebrities, now let's see if I can remember her name. You know she's really posh. She has blonde hair, like really
Aggie.
tight to her head.
Aggie from Kim and
that's
Aggie, the
one.
cleaner.
Yes.
When she got really drunk and started calling one of the other celebrities, you're only a fucking slut. You're only a sleep. You're an adulterer. You're an adulterer. And when I was like,
Yeah.
but it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. She was great because she knew how to play the game. Absolutely.
Oh,
now.
definitely.
It
She
was-
knew
it was
exactly what she was doing
fantastic.
on this one.
She was brilliant on it. She
There
was
is actually
really
one
good.
thing, Gerry, you probably will be able to answer this question because I can't remember. Oh, I'm trying to think. It was one of it was the normie. It was just one of the normal like public series that they had. It wasn't a celebrity one. Who was your one who got really, really drunk and went out to the back garden with a wine bottle?
Oh, was it her name was either Kinga or Nadia or something? 'Cause I remember
Kinga.
Kinga.
Kinga. That's the
Kinga,
one.
straight
Yeah,
away,
Kinga.
straight away. That's it.
Yeah,
Soon as-
like
I kind of had. I was like, and as soon as John said
shit
it,
like that. See, shit
Yeah.
like this is why you should probably have your family members be like, don't do reality TV because you're a
Yeah.
disgusting human being and you
I-
will be
I
judged.
remember-
to your
Well,
life.
don't do reality TV, and maybe don't watch it.
I think I remember one of the first series. I think it was the celebrities, and they were like, there was two women, they hated each other anyway, and it was like the final, and one of them threw water on each other or champagne or something like that. I can't remember who it was, but I remember that scene for some reason.
That's the thing as well. When you watch the celebrity ones, you're just like, I want to see who fucking really hates someone else. Or if it's a celebrity and you're like, oh, they dated somebody, and you're like, I want to hear them talk shit. Like when Sylvester Stallone, what was her name, Bridget Nelson, when she was in the house, and then what's her name? Oh my God, what was your one's name?
Is
Stella.
it Jackie Stallone?
Jackie
His
Jackie
mother came in.
Stallone.
Oh
Then
God,
then just turns
Yeah.
up into the house and everyone, and she was like, oh my God, Jackie, that's fucking Sly's mother. It's my ex-mother-in-law. What the fuck? You can see she died a little inside. She's like, shit.
The
Right.
amount of rumors that there were about the last celebrity one that Hulk Hogan was going in. And I'm like, oh, that's just a train wreck waiting to happen.
Hogan was going into one.
I would have
my
watched that.
God.
He was
I would have
negotiating
watched
the
that
last
too.
one.
I would have tuned in for that shit now. I would have recorded that never to be deleted. Like when Pete Burns and the MP were in the house and they were like pretending, like trying to get a puppy to come back, and they were like, drink the milk. Do you remember? Like, what was his name? George
Galloway.
George Galloway, and like I
Yes.
can't think of who the other woman
Yeah.
was, and she was like, "Are you a good? Oh, you're a good kitty. You're a good. Drink the milk." And he's like drinking the fake milk out of her hand, like, "Motherfucker, you're a fucking MP. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?"
He still is.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
Nah, no. Do you know what? He's not respected no more. He is not. He's everyone has that on their fucking Sky Plus. They all kept that shit. Everyone's like whipping out the phone every time he comes up with something. Oh, is this you? This you, mate? Is this you? Oh, right, Gerry. Well, like my opinion of you has not gotten any worse than it already was. Okay, so I mean, the Big Brother thing's not that bad for a guilty pleasure. So I mean, that's a good. That's a good thing.
That's a start,
That's a good
isn't
Well,
thing.
I can tell you
Yeah, it's a
now.
good thing.
I can tell you now. The arm is going to be severely extended the next time I fucking see you. Now that's it. No hugs for you. You can.
All right, whatever. Foxy or Anya, whichever one of you wants to go first with the guilty pleasures that you have.
See, this one I think is fun because I wonder the guilty pleasures that neither of them know about. That's the exciting part.
Oh, is there?
There's that little bite.
Have you discussed this beforehand, so you both know what each other's guilty pleasure is?
I don't
Foxy
know.
secretly watches biker mice from Mars on the toilet.
It's not done secretly. He sings the theme song.
With me, I'm like you, Amy, in a lot of it. I don't give a shit. I watch what I watch. I do because I want to. I don't care who thinks whatever. But
Excellent.
I don't watch daytime TV. I only watch like YouTube and stuff. So when I do watch daytime TV, these are the ones I watch, and it's like,
Oh my God! Please say Jerry Springer. Please say Jerry Springer.
fuck no. Like I watch Don't Tell the Bride and Say Yes to the Dress, and they're very embarrassing for me because the way women act on it. Oh my God!
This the thing is. All right, so we were discussing Say Yes to the Dress before we started recording on this one, right? And this is my favorite thing about this is my dad gives me so much shit for watching Say Yes to the Dress because he's like, why are you watching a bunch of women buying a wedding dress? For one, a wedding you're not going to. Two, they're people you don't know. And three, you have no right to be looking to buy a white wedding dress, sort of thing. Like that's the way kind of like it is in our house. And then 3 days later, I came in and I was like, came in from work. And I heard Randy's voice. Is that a yes to the dress? And I walked into the kitchen. There's my mom and dad sitting there watching Say Yes to the Dress. I was like, you dirty bastard. And he's like, well, after you watched it, now we have to watch it because your mother's interested in it. So I was like, that's his guilty pleasure is Say Yes to the Dress. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying yes to the dress. I think it's hilarious.
What I love, dude, is I'm sitting there and I'm like getting so invested and I'm like, why is her mother such a cunt?
Yes! Oh my God, lads, seriously, they bring like the bridesmaid, the maid of honor will be sitting there with them, and the bride is like in this gorgeous looking gown. She looks stunning. She looks like a princess. She's got the veil on, the jewelry, and then the bridesmaid. Your ass looks so fat in that dress. Like, oh my God, you look like fucking Moby Dick walking out.
Yeah, I know.
And you
sitting there,
everyone just like,
how fucking dare you? Like Niall will tell you.
That's the happiest.
Niall will tell you. Yesterday, I was watching an episode, and the entourage, as they call them, were being really rude to her. Really rude. And what did Randy say to them? It was like, either you keep your mouth shut, because if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, or I'll put you outside. He said, don't speak to her like that.
Yeah, he's like the super nanny. He's like Joe Frost. He's like, if you keep acting up, I'm going to put you on the fucking naughty step. Like, Randy is my spirit animal. I fucking love him so much.
I know.
Like, I have no intentions of ever getting a wedding dress, but if I did, I would literally book an appointment in Kleinfeld just so I could go and just be like, I just want you to tell me I look pretty in this dress. I don't care what my mother has to say about it. She doesn't count. I just want to hear you give, like, you just build me up.
Yeah, and it just be so annoying because, like, they go in and they're trying on the dress. It's like, why is your mother's opinion more important than yours?
She's not wearing the fucking dress. Like, get over yourself. Stop. She's paying for it. She's not paying for the whole fucking thing. She can buy the alterations that are due on it. Everything else is fucking me.
Yeah.
This is a
Like, this
podcast
is-
on in itself.
I was gonna say,
It
yeah.
does be, it
Well,
does
next in
be
the box
fucking
set.
mad. It does be mad, and you're sitting there like, look at yourself for a minute, and then tell her to go fuck off. Like,
Yeah, I highly
still don't be your
recommend.
ma.
I highly recommend flipping onto TLC or YouTube and just watching some episodes of Say Yes to the Dress. Highly recommend it.
Highly recommend it. It's
Highly recommend it.
great.
Especially just to see like women being absolute cunts to one another, and then also seeing a gay man just build her up so much that she's like, I am a fucking, like, swear to God, Randy builds her up like Nick Frost does the Avengers. Like, he legit makes her feel like a fucking superhero. Like, it's beautiful to watch. And then, like, when she finally says yes to the dress and her mother's crying, you like, you know, it's tears of joy, but also tears of absolute regret because now she has to pay like $2,500 more than what she originally wanted to pay.
Or
It's
10.
beautiful. Yeah.
Or 10.
Yeah, I love it so much. I love it. Pop
Well,
that shit on.
Then you have the other side of it, which is the other one I watch is Don't Tell the Bride, and I'm watching it to see how they fuck the wedding up. Like one of the
My
worst,
brother.
one of the worst is one where your man decided to bet his entire wedding on black, and he had it all in Vegas.
Oh,
Like-
I remember hearing about that. Yes.
See, the
And
thing with
he literally uninvited half of almost her entire family. He only invited her mother, her father, and her sister, who was her maid of honor. He got rid of her flower girls. He got rid of her other bridesmaids. He uninvited her brother. And he had a table for 8 people. He booked an entire hotel for it, for 8 people to sit down and have dinner for their wedding. I had Elvis marry them, and he bought her a ball gown that she didn't want.
I would love to see my favorite thing for Don't Tell the Bride. I'd love to see what the marriage success rates are for those. I'd love to know
Oh,
who's
I've
still
watched
married and who
them.
isn't.
And
I-
one of them, your man pulled out all the stuff. He was great to her. He had a full-on wedding, and she cheated on him afterwards with his best man.
Dude,
The only thing I know about Don't Tell the Bride is that, like, when I used to work in a venue in Waterford, came in shooting because they were looking at using the venue as possibly a venue.
Yeah.
Some episode they were from Moon Coin or something.
I'm just trying to
So,
think now.
But they
There's-
came into the venue look for it, and so that's the only knowledge I have of them is that.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
just,
Dennis.
I'm
When
actually just
when they're on Don't Tell the Bride, obviously they're separated for 3 weeks. They have no contact, no phone calls, nothing. You can't text each other. You can't see each other
that's an awful
for 3 weeks.
that's an awful lot of trust to put into one bloke.
One bloke.
Like,
If they're in the US, which the US one is shite, I hate it. But if they're in the US, they're given 25,000.
They're only giving 10 grand on fucking Don't Tell the Bride.
But they give Don't Tell the Bride in Ireland and UK. They're given 10 grand to put on a wedding.
Bollocks.
I remember thinking one thing about the episode from Waterford. The guy had, when the bride last saw him, had long, like, proper long ginger hair.
Mm-hmm.
You got a
And
cut
for the wedding day, he got it all cut up.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking that must have been a fucking shock and a half for the bride to walk in and suddenly short hair.
I love the fact that, like,
Fuck.
there's only like 5 people that live in Waterford. Were you one of the attendees at this wedding?
I fucking wish.
It wasn't
Fucking hell.
Kev, it wasn't Jamie, and it wasn't your wedding. So I mean, it's one of the other 2 people that live there.
But that Vegas wedding was the only one where they actually allowed the bride to speak to the groom because she was going to break up with him.
I'm not fucking surprised. I'd be like, no, it's
I'm
off.
calling it off. Like one
It's
of them
off.
was like,
There was. Do you
Yeah.
remember there was one? Do you remember
I
there was
love that
one?
wrestling one.
I remember there was one where he did it up as Beauty and the Beast, and he got her a yellow ball gown for
Oh,
a
I
wedding
haven't
dress.
seen that one.
She saw the dress. She had explained to him in great detail of the particular wedding dress that she wanted, to the extent where her
Did he
mother,
dress in a blue
her
jacket with no
sister,
pants?
he did dress in a blue jacket. He did have pants, but she had sent, it was like a Vera Wang wedding dress or something, and it was like, this is the type of dress
Yeah.
that I want. This is what it looks like. It doesn't have to be this exact one, but this is the style that we want. Blah blah blah. And it was basically like, this is what I'm going to get her. And oh, I've threw it off the bed.
Why would you
This is
do
what I'm
that?
gonna get
If
her
you're told
instead.
specifically, this is what I want, why do you go? Well,
Because they think
fuck
they
your
know
thoughts.
better than
That's-
this. Because he
They
thinks
think
he
they
knows
know
better. That's
better.
why. And it's not only that they think they know better as well, it's because they know that the more money that they spend on the wedding dress, the less money he has to spend on what shit that he wants.
Like
Mm.
I
I'd
have my
be
two
terrified to fucking
have
go
my
against
favorite episodes ever, and one of them is one I watched the other night. Is he planned a wrestling wedding? He's a wrestler, and so is she. So he actually planned a wrestling wedding, and Madman Manson was in it,
Oh,
Oh, yes.
and Jimmy Havoc,
Oh, I want Mad
Jimmy
Man
Havoc was
Manson
one
at
of
my
the
wedding.
was
one
the
of
best
the
man.
best men. He
Who
had
was it?
two.
He
I
was
can't
running
remember the
with
name.
this.
I can't remember his name, but it was in England anyway. And he
YouTube this
decided
shit, lads.
she wanted a beautiful wedding, you know, like girly shit, because all she ever does is do wrestling, and he planned a wrestling wedding.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
be fair, if that was all I did, it would be annoying to do it on my wedding day too.
Yeah. But now, mind you, she ended up loving every aspect of it, and he actually had her wedding dress made, Amy. He had a handmade.
Okay, now that and Becky and Mike.
Becky and Mike, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find this
Becky
episode.
James and Mike something. I can't remember
Mike
his.
Mason. Was it?
Mike Mason, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're like a wrestling couple as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, there was like Madman Manson and the Amazon and all were in the fucking.
Excellent. Excellent. This is to me. I love how everyone is like guilty pleasures. I'm like, nope, I'm into all this type of shit.
To be fair, like
Okay.
if you've got a wedding and you have a chance of bringing Madman Manson to it, you do it, right? It
Oh
automatically
God, yeah. Sorry, if
also
I'm
makes
going to a
it
funeral,
recorded,
and
but
if
it's
I'm going
better.
to a funeral and someone gave me a +1, I'd be like, here, this man will fucking bring everyone's opinion up. Like, if anything, like, I mean, it will cheer you up if anything.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
like
He'll almost predict the future.
Yeah,
No,
chances
fucking-
are, like,
that
he'll
once.
fucking
He
start.
did it once.
he did it once. Yeah.
You never.
It wasn't
Yeah,
allowed.
you
Yeah,
never
you
know
see
what-
what
you
happened
never
with that
know what
one
they can-
time.
Yes.
To be fair, he was very accurate that one time. Foxy, before this delves into something completely different, what's your guilty pleasure?
So
What's your first guilty pleasure?
yeah, my first guilty pleasure. It's
The one you're least shamed about.
yeah. I find myself constantly going back to really shitty TV in regards to kitchen nightmares.
That is an amazing show.
That's
That
an
is
excellent show.
brilliant
Don't you dare
show.
be
That's not a
shamed
guilty
of watching. That's not a
That's
guilty
a
pleasure.
guilty pleasure.
US or UK?
Both.
Yeah, you're a good man.
Both.
Foxy.
I'm sorry.
Lads, I think
This
it's
is
very
a-
clear. I think it's very clear that Foxy just said, just pick any random show, and I'll just say that's a guilty.
That's the
pleasure.
best show
Guilty
ever.
pleasure.
That's a brilliant
Honest
show.
to God.
fucking
Honest to God.
Fucking raw.
Our YouTube
That
is
is-
full of this shit. There's
I
no watch.
Adore
I'll watch
watching-
Kitchen Nightmares while I'm eating.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like he's like pulling mold out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm
I'm
there
like,
cutting into my
oh,
ravioli.
yeah.
I'm like, hell
Fucking
yeah, oh, man.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hold
Yeah.
Gordon
how could
Ramsay-
anybody let it get like that? Fuck's sake.
Fucking donkey!
this This
What are
squid
you?
is so
I'm an
raw.
idiot
SpongeBob
sandwich.
and Patrick are still singing it to it.
Like, oh God.
And I love it. I love that when there's like the chefs who like decide that they're like better than him and they're like arguing with him and shit, and he gets them fired and whatnot, and it's fucking brilliant.
Oh man.
My favorite
And
thing.
did you remember that French guy?
Oh my
The
God.
French
I know
chef.
who you're talking about. Oh
Yes.
my God.
He completely thought he was like way above like
Yeah, and Gordon's
just
like going through his freezer and he's like, "You work like this, you fucking pig! You're a pig!" And your man's like, "Get out of my restaurant now!" And he's like, "Fucking hell!"
My favorite thing about the entire situation though as well is like when like before he gets there and like he's just tasting, like he orders like
Yes.
a load of stuff and he's tasting it, and you can see them like, if he fucking comes back here, I'm gonna punch him in his fucking English face. Oh, he's not allowed to say that shit to me. How fucking dare he? And then as soon as he goes in, yes, sir,
Hello.
I'm sorry, sir. I never meant to upset you.
Oh, there's that guy
Oh.
who with the elk. It was like a
Oh, I
two-part.
know,
Yeah,
I know.
it was
I
like a
was
gonna
two-part
say
He
episode.
was terrible to his actual
Yes.
staff. I got caught out
Yeah.
by
Oh.
customers.
Oh man, and
Is
then of
this
course
the one
yeah,
is
like
when he's like
Amy's
the
baking
tips?
company.
It's I
Oh,
swear
she's
it's fresh elk. It's
Mm.
fresh elk. I have a 5 grade of this and that.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh well, it's actually frozen.
It's actually from a can.
and Gordon sending it back, going, "Yeah, it's inedible," and he's going, "Tell him he's wrong. It has a." He's like, "What do you mean? Tell him he's
What?
fucking wrong."
I love it. Though. Do you remember there was one in particular? They were literally like a seafood restaurant, and they were on the docks. You could see
Oh,
the
yeah.
fishing trawl, and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's fresh crab. It's fresh seafood. Everything is fresh." It's like, when was this caught? Oh, I don't know. It comes out of a tin. What? You can literally go 2 doors down to get fresh seafood, and
If
he
it's
gets
stuff,
it from a tin.
if it's stuff not in a tin, it's fucking cooked in a microwave.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
Oh yeah, no, the pasta's fresh. Oh, when was it made? 3 days ago, but we freeze it. It's not fresh anymore. Then I'm sorry.
the worst one I think was when he went into a big restaurant and they were cooking lasagna and freezing it for a week
yeah,
Yes.
and then defrosting it and serving it.
It's right. He goes, that's
they
stone
had
cold in the middle. It was
6-month-old
fresh.
fucking like lasagna and what was it? It was some other like type of meat. Like it was there for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like stuff from Thanksgiving, and it was now like 6 months later.
Oh,
Mm.
then there was
It's
the where he walks in and they had a tray rack on one of the
Oh,
tables.
with the desserts.
Yeah, with the
Yes.
desserts. I've been there for
Dust.
3 months.
And there was mold and everything on
There's
them.
mold, and like it's like they come out with the desserts on it and goes, "Oh, you can't actually order these ones. These are just ones that we have for display." And he's like, "I would hope so because that's dusty and moldy. Like, why are you displaying this?"
And then they
I
can't
fucking love
understand
kitchen
why he has a
nightmares.
problem with it. He's like, "Well, we're
Yeah,
not
it's like-
serving it." He's like, "I don't
doesn't
care. You're not
matter."
serving it."
Shouldn't be there to begin
If
with.
you're not serving it, why is it fucking here?
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't
like-
matter. It's like that's no longer food. That's Darwinism that you now have. You're literally creating like a new species of life
Creating
here.
life.
Get rid of that shit.
It baffled me. Like
Oh,
he literally steps in the door of the restaurant, dead rat, right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, and she says he's a liar.
And she said
She
he
calls him a
planted it.
fucking
He
liar. Yeah.
planted it.
Yeah.
Like the porter just
that's
said, like,
amazing.
"Have you planted that?" I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like I
And
just stepped in the
was
door.
it. He fucking lost his shit.
Yeah.
I came here to help you. I do not need to
That's-
make you look bad. You're
that's-
doing that well enough yourself.
And they're
That's
like, "I
another
understand
thing.
you want to do this for the camera." He's like, "Fuck the cameras." I don't
That's another thing as well. That's actually another thing as well. These people, they technically invite him to come in to their restaurant to judge the shit out of them and tell them what's wrong and to fix it. And then they have the audacity to get upset when he actually points out their flaws.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I can tell you now, it smells of decomposition in here. So something's definitely gone off. How dare you? Get out of my restaurant." Fine. I'm
like-
probably doing my health a service.
Walking into their into the kitchen, and there's pigeons flying around the place.
But like,
I
yeah,
love-
like
It's not even
as
an
far as shows
exaggeration.
goes,
Because your one was like, she was serving food, like she was cooking ravioli in a microwave
oh
and
my
serving
god,
it. And she's like,
Oh.
that's gorgeous. I'd eat this food every day. Then why don't you?
Then eat it
That's
now.
what
Eat
it's
it right
like-
now in front of me.
you get loads of like really memorable moments. As I said, their Amy's Baking Company, like that went like offline and everything. Like that went fucking viral in a big way away from
Bastard.
Kitchen
I mean,
Nightmares.
he ruined
they
my
were
fucking retirement
insane.
plan.
Yeah,
I do.
they were
I
insane.
still regret the day. I regret the day I hired that actress to like play me, and just like it ruined everything.
Yeah, it did. Didn't it?
Like
I'm
there's a clip that is online. It's basically the best moments, like when food is really good.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
may have
that
watched
one.
it.
I love it because like there's this
He's
one clip,
enjoying the food.
but like there's one clip of like the guy is like Gordon has brought the chef's burger to the owners to try,
Yes. Yeah.
And she's
and
like,
as soon as she fucking takes a bite, she's like,
She starts coughing.
yeah, it's like I'm tasting something. I don't know what that
I remember
flavor
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spicy
He's like-
for me. Like,
and he's like,
He's like,
pepper.
it's salt and pepper. it's literally, it's seasoning. You're tasting seasoning, you bland bitch.
Brilliant.
Oh,
That's a great choice, Foxy.
That one with the rat, though.
that is like,
Dead rat.
oh,
It's like the nicest thing he ate in the restaurant was her mother's
The
cake.
cake, yeah.
red velvet.
And even the owner was then like, "Oh, of course he likes it because Mama made it. Yeah, of course he likes it." It's like,
fuck these
if it's
people.
fucking good, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Not that
I
I
have
thought.
to admit, basing off everyone's first round choices on guilty pleasures, I think Foxy's in a win here with Kitchen Nightmares.
oh, such a good show. I mean, yeah, I'd
Excellent show.
happily give that to Foxy.
Like,
Channel 4,
The reason
E4,
why I say it's a guilty
YouTube,
pleasure is because like I shouldn't like a program that's
where you're
pointing
just
out
insulting
bad
everyone.
food.
Yeah. That's true, actually.
It's really
I
I'm
mean-
entertaining.
eating to it.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I'm
always
actually
makes me
eating
want
food.
to eat. Whenever I
It
watch,
makes
I
me-
always want to eat.
It's like when I watch Man versus. It's like there's nothing really else on. I've the travel
Yeah.
channel is like I'm guaranteed to either find Man versus Food or Diners,
Diners,
and Drives.
drive-ins, and dives.
And I'm like, I'm just really hungry now that I'm watching this, but I'm going to continue watching it. And as like they're like making like a shepherd's pie, this is like 12:30 at night. They're making a shepherd's pie, and I'm like, I'm gonna go make a grilled cheese while I watch this because this is on because it's like
great
there's
nighttime
nothing better
snack.
to do than to make a
Cheese.
grilled cheese sandwich right now. Do you know what this is missing? Do you know what this 25-pound ice cream is missing? Whipped cream and a few cherries on
I'm
top.
betting
and sprinkles.
Amy's
Sprinkles.
making it and she's talking to the camera like she's hosting a cookery show.
I'm trying, exactly. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Anytime I'm making spaghetti bolognese and I'm like boiling my water, I'm just gonna salt the water here just before I put my pasta in, and I look off to the side, and the dog will just be sitting on the floor looking at me with her head tilted, and I'm like, yeah. It's basically, I don't know why we do this, but I do this
do it
anyway.
myself.
Okay, and then I'm gonna move on to my mints. Like I always like I'd be in the shower, and like if I let my mind kind of drift while I'm in the shower, I have a Tony Award winning speech set up. I have an Oscar winning speech. I don't have a Grammy one because I don't want a Grammy.
Yeah, of
I
course,
also
yeah.
have a Razzie. Like I also know what my Razzie Award winning speech will be, and it's literally in the sense of like, I know it was shit, but it bought me my house, so it was worth it. Like that's kind of like the gist of what I do. I will have my gym moments where I just look off to the side and look at the
It's
non-existing camera
Mhm.
because
It's
I don't know
like
if I'm in the
it's like
Truman
when
Show.
you have your ideal house mapped out and decorated already, but you just don't have the house.
Yeah.
yet.
No, I don't. But like I have The Sims, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Amy's gonna have Amy's dream house is when it's like perfectly cinematic, whereas it's like it's not built on one side. That's where the audience is, and that's where the camera is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the hard
It's like a
side.
set piece.
The hard cam side. You don't
It's
need to do anything
a
on that
set
side.
piece, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, nothing goes on that wall because that's
Like a
literally where the
sitcom.
camera's going to see
Exactly.
everything. Yeah.
It's filmed in front of a live studio audience.
You can move the set around.
You sold out. You sold out. Yes, I did.
I did.
That's why I would go on to Big Brother. That's actually why I would do reality TV shows. Is so I don't have to pay rent or any of the bills for this house. No, you don't. Sign me the fuck up.
Who was
Do I-
it? The
do I have
best
to leave when I
comeback
get
to that ever was it?
evicted?
Was it the Who say like some people have said you've sold out? He's like, well, we've sold out quite a lot on this tour, yeah. We've sold out Wembley. We've sold out.
Thank you, Roger Daltrey. Okay, we'll do the swing round back again. Okay, so we're going back to Jonathan. Jonathan, you have do you have two or three? Do you have two?
I do have a third one if needed, but I'll stick with my second.
Okay, well, okay, let's go with Jonathan's second guilty pleasure, so I can judge.
Okay, and it's a very appropriate word. So again, it's kind of on a similar vein of 24 in the sense where in a way I shouldn't award things that are unrealistic. But sometimes when it dips into that kind of uncanny valley where okay, I know you're trying to give yourself some form of dramatizing something, and I can hit them some sort of leniency on that. Whereas this show is, as I've just seen on a user review, hilariously unrealistic, right? I don't expect you guys to know this show, and legit I only reminded myself of it recently. I think this is perhaps one of the worst.
Get to the name of the show, Jonathan.
One of the worst shows ever made, pound for pound. It's it's called Judge John Deed.
Oh my God!
Now again,
this is still shown on Alibi. Alibi shows this.
It is such an unwieldy piece of television in every sense of the word, right? But at the same time, it's that kind of that level of fatal deviation. You'll get
George Shaw. I'm nearly sure this is George Shaw.
Martin Shaw.
Martin Shaw is the Martin Shaw is the Okay.
Okay, so for those uninitiated, right? This is legit. This is the premise. Martin Shaw plays a maverick high court judge, and you follow along the cases he has with his overarching story of the powers that be in the other judges in the high court and other legal aides, the civil servants, trying to get rid of him because he's working class. That's literally the only reason they don't like him is because he's not posh and he doesn't make decisions based off his class. So because his character is somewhat relatable to a common man.
You say this is unreal. Have you ever actually been in court and watched certain judges? And I've had to work in this, so I don't find it to be unrealistic and how certain judges actually serve certain clients or certain prisoners in front of them. For this reason alone, I'm like, you literally read this bastard's address and you decided suspended sentence. So
pretty much.
I'm sorry, but that's I'm gonna defend your guilty
pleasure. That's how Gerry's gotten away with so much.
That's how I've gotten away with so much. But it's
But okay, so the premise is one thing, but the actual the writing in it is so well,
the writing of it is shit.
It's so ridiculous because they have to invent personal drama for Dee to go through. So it's if the court case themselves in a vacuum are not too bad. It's like any kind of court drama. They work out it's a start, middle, and end, and whatever conclusion is drawn up from the investigation. You know how the shit works. But it's the whole because whoever has written it has tried to reinvent the wheel a little bit with how the judge involves himself in cases. And it's judges don't do that. They literally are meant to be.
They don't do,
you know. And the fact is there's actually one scene. I think it's I just checked it. There's only 30 episodes of the show, right? But there's 5 in each series. Bear in mind these are 19-minute episodes. So this is pure fucking.
Yeah, it's like it's like its own little TV movie basically.
And there's one scene where literally again Dee gets himself too far into it. I can't remember what. I think it's something to do with local terrorism or something along those lines. It's something really like that. And for some reason Dee has got himself involved in this kerfuffle, and he literally fights off the assailants himself. He literally beats the shit out of them. This is a judge. He shouldn't be kicking anyone in the face. But honestly, apparently, right, and again, I only noticed from other people talking about the show, but apparently a big reason for the show ended up the way it was because of Martin Shaw himself, who's apparently a fucking weirdo on set. And he's a militant vegetarian and vegan. So when he's on set, no one gets to eat meat. No one eats meat at all. So he forces people to go vegetarian.
Fuck that guy.
Is he a member of Mustache Mountain?
I'm sure he's an honorary member of it. But
Hey.
but the thing is like, he insisted on these action scenes because he has done the different shows, like different cop shows, where he plays the guy doing all the action scenes. You know, so he has this kind of weird like personality trait where he has to do his own stunts, like fucking William Shatner. But the thing is, like, he's there like as a high court judge. He shouldn't be getting involved. But it's always the same thing where like everything about it is ridiculous. So there's like two characters who are like obviously the villains, the pantomime villains of the show, where like Shaw will say something to them and walk off, and the two of them will just like purse their fingers and go, "We really must get rid of Judge John Deed." Yes, I agree. That should be the next thing that we do. Episode plotted to get rid of him. Yes, let's do that. Turn the camera. And that's
So
literally
how did you get into it?
One episode.
Did you like chance across it?
How did you find this show that you were like, this is so shit yet so good?
Yeah.
I have
Because
to
I
keep
understood
watching.
24, because that was a big thing when it first came out. Like I even remember like that was talked about, but
I mean, this is Alibi. Like you're literally like this was. It was. I don't even think this wasn't BBC. This was ITV. That was showing it. I mean, you had to watch the fucking adverts as well. So you were watching adverts as well. Like you fucking stuck with this shit.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Yeah. No, I remember now. It was. It was actually one of the few shows my dad actually watched like routinely. You know, because he's not a major like person for TV series and stuff like that. He'll jump himself into one.
Dare you blame your father?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, but the weird thing was, like, whenever he's watching, like, he's dead silent in the house. Like, he's, like, glued in, he's watching, he's dialed in, he's watching everything. I was like, what the fuck is this, right? And it's just like, it's the kind of thing when you're popping in and out of the room every now and then, you're kind of seeing, like, oh, is this episode still going on? It's like, oh, man, what's going on? Is this the same show as running a fucking box set, like, you know? So,
7 years later.
Yeah. And the thing was, like, I think it was actually on BBC, Amy, now that I think of it, because it was like a 90-minute like show, but obviously they didn't have much in the scheduling, so they just fucking let him run away with it. And over like
you've had booked for these hours. No, just fucking put on John Deed for a few hours. Fuck it.
He lost the fight for rights to the football, so just fucking throw anything on. It doesn't matter. No one's watching.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. BBC One
yeah.
had it on, yeah. BBC, yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense because they always did like their season 6 episodes. So this was done in like 5 because of the time, and it was just so weird because like it was just like it was the one thing he actually did like religiously watch. And I was thinking like, why? So I tried an episode myself, and I was thinking like, holy fuck, this is terrible. But at the same time, I love it because it's so bad. It's that kind of weird thing where like the dial has gone the complete 180. I was thinking like everything about this is so shit. I just love picking holes in it. I love finding faults in the plot and in the characters. Like literally every cliche for a main character is thrown into John Deed, and he's still a maverick high court judge. How the fuck does that work? Okay, so he's divorced. He has a daughter he's trying to win back. He has a new mistress. Like it is like love-hate relationship, on and off relationship. Grant, all the boxes are ticked there for a complicated, convoluted character that we all have to try and understand and empathize with. It's like, fuck me. Like this is like half it's out of a fucking Danielle Steele book. It's ridiculous. Like
don't disrespect Danielle Steele like that.
I know, but like you know, it's just like cliche. It's all written into
Agreed. Okay. I'm noticing a trend in your one seem to be procedural kind of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like episodic like shows. Don't get me wrong. I do like stuff like where it's like.
I'm noticing a crime trend.
Is it almost like you kind of like to just turn off the brain?
I think it's one of those things of turning out, like just turning off and watching something. Like I mean, if I want to like turn off and like just have like mind. Well, I mean, it's man versus food, or it's diners, drive-ins, drive. It's something I don't have to think about. Like, very rarely will I actually watch a TV show.
Binge.
Yeah, and that's almost background noise as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I love binge watching shit. Anyway.
Yeah, I have to. I'm a fan of the binge watching, which I have. Thank you, COVID-19, because like you've allowed me to binge watch fucking everything and anything twice over. Thank you for that, by the way. Right, I want to start the intervention now, because we're going on to Dennis, and I don't know where to start with Jersey Shore. right?
So you wouldn't have guessed, firstly, that was mine, right?
Well, I did.
Well, one of us, someone did guess it was Jersey
True.
Shore. I thought it was Love Island, and I would have had a bit more respect for you if it was Love Island. But the fact of the matter is, it's not. No, you went with Snooki and the fucking situation on this one.
Snooki,
I just want to know
Snooki,
why.
the situation, JWoww, Vinny.
Wow. Okay, I knew two.
I
What the
watched everything.
fuck?
Paulie
What?
D.
The fuck is wrong with you? Did someone touch you? Do you want me to get a doll and you can just point out on the doll where they touch you? Why?
So,
Why?
Show us the
How?
products. Show
So-
us the products.
How?
what happened
If it's on
was,
the heart, then he's been brainwashed.
so what happened was,
that hurt you so
way-
much?
way
that
back
you're
when-
sure?
when I was living, I was in Waterford. I wasn't that long down here, but I was. It was me and my roommate, and we were working in the same
Male or
place.
female roommate?
Female.
Okay.
we were-
Okay. I think I might know why Jersey Shore that it became a thing.
We were working in the same place, and we just happened to kind of have the same hours. And so we'd come in of an evening, and it just so happened that was on TV. Now, we didn't have like a ton of money around, so we didn't like, we had like basic channels, and I think that was on like Channel 4 or something, I think, or E4.
MTV.
MTV makes sense, yeah. So we put it on, and by default, we found ourselves watching more and more of it. In the end, what we did was we downloaded
Jerry has
basically.
no respect for you.
We
I love
downloaded.
things that you downloaded. So you
As
hold
m-
on. Stop. All right, we're pause.
Actively
Time
engaged.
fucking out on this here for a second. This means that you went so you went out of your way
Yeah.
to actually record and download more episodes. So when
we
you
went
got
and
finished from work,
we
you
found it
had-
on like
you
the
had it
Pirate
there.
Bay or something. We downloaded like a couple of seasons, and we would sit down and binge, and we'd be sitting there and we'd be going, "Oh, what a bitch! What a fucking bitch! Can you fucking believe that? What the fuck is
Oh my
that?"
god!
And we'd almost hate watch it, and
I think no. Do you know what? I think you enjoyed this a little bit too.
and yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was the stupidest people I've ever seen on TV, and they were fucking gross. But
Yeah.
I can't give you, I wish I could give you some solid justification for it.
No,
But-
do you know what? There's no such thing as solid justification. You could literally turn around and say to me that, look, if I didn't watch it, my entire family were going to die, and I still wouldn't. I would still look at you and be like, you liar. No, like, and I watched Laguna Beach for Christ's sakes, but
Oh.
I was a teenage girl
Oh,
when that was on. I was 13 when I was watching this. And do you know what happened after like the first 6 episodes? I realized how ridiculously retarded it was to watch this show. So I stopped watching it. My
I was
brother,
in
on the
my
other
I was
hand,
in my 20s.
that makes it even worse.
There's no
That makes it
excuse.
worse.
guys, no excuse. You should have known better.
So it was, yeah, it's not something I've watched like again.
I
But
should hope so.
I
The
did
that
watch.
fact that you can't maintain eye contact with any single one of the people on cameras when you say that indicates that sir is a lie. I watch procedural dramas. I know when someone's lying to me.
One thing I have watched again recently was Survivor, but because I love that one too.
That's different. That's
But
hilarious.
that
and
was better.
stupid.
But yeah, Jersey Shore, I haven't watched again, but I wouldn't rule out watching it again.
Oh, do you know what's it? Now, when he said that, he maintained eye contact with his camera. So that's how we know he actually is being legit honest with this. Oh my God, your next wrestling gimmick is going to be fucking the situation, isn't it?
That's
You're
been
gonna have a
done.
fucking Geordie Shore.
That's
Oh.
been done. Fucking what was his name?
Robbie
Robbie
Yeah.
E.
Yeah.
Zach Ryder.
And Cookie
Here.
Next thing you're gonna hear him shouting, "Can't see
in
you."
TNA,
Oh,
of course, in TNA.
Dennis,
But
my opinion of you has dropped significantly.
I was never that high to begin with.
No, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally in like minus now. Like, we've gone from a green sim bar to a red sim bar. Like that's where we are now.
I can't stop shaking my fucking head. Just
Jerry has
Um,
disowned you as a child. Jerry has now disowned you as a child, and you weren't even a child to begin with. Like, I mean, that's how far this has gone.
Yeah,
Um,
Gerry Foxy, can you tell
this-
off Dennis that their son is like, he's like the family down? You let me down. I'm just so disappointed in you.
No,
You're not
Most
mad.
important-
You're
I'm not mad.
disappointed.
You've let
Andrew,
yourself
yeah.
down.
Personally, I'm just aiming for a Jersey Shore chant to start at my match. And my match is.
Dennis, look,
This is why you don't get booked.
there's
lads.
so
You
much,
understand?
there's so
You
much
understand
wrong.
why you don't get booked.
He's just
Like,
Joe's a senior
embracing it at this
team.
point. He knows there's no coming back.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, well, I'm curious about something.
I
Okay,
wouldn't have said it if I was truly
Do you know
ashamed.
the
of it.
way? Do you know the way you have like the black curtain over the window?
Yeah.
Is it actually just covering the Jersey Shore
Oh,
mural?
No,
that you
no,
have
no.
there?
It's actually
Jersey
covering
Shore
a load
Shrine.
of other random things because my wife is far more popular than I will ever be on Instagram, and
Curious
she
about
does
something.
lots
One
of
of those-
makeup tutorials,
Okay, okay, that's
and so
fine.
that's her backdrop that she
Okay.
uses for her makeup tutorials.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's understandable. We're gonna have a chat off camera, offline, and
You're gonna get the
we're
help you
going
need.
to discuss.
Aftercare available.
We're okay. We're going to discuss whether or not we actually still want you within the Nerds on the Nerds Are Us channel. So myself and Foxy and Jonathan
I've got
will
Tony
have
on the
that
line here.
meeting.
Amy, you want me to call him back in?
No, we're not that desperate.
No, I mean,
but
really,
we're legit going to have a HR meeting, and we're just going to discuss the pros and cons on this. All right. So we're like, you know what? Don't call us. We'll call you, Gerry. Gerry.
Yes.
Realistically, anything that anyone now calls a guilty pleasure is it's always going to be a
We're
plus.
all off the
It's gonna
hook
be a
now.
step
We're all
up.
off the hook.
So
Grand.
I
so,
win.
like, literally,
Well, hold
no
on,
one-
you haven't heard
no
my
one- no-
solution yet.
You lose.
Okay,
Oh,
Gerry. What is your second?
This
Your
would-
second
thi-
guilty
thi-
pleasure.
this is another thing that I was made watch at the start and then said, "Oh, were we watching that? Wait, are we putting that on? Oh, okay." It was Sex and the City.
Ah! I don't think I should go back in.
Nice. I won't judge you the same way you judged me, you beardy fuck.
No, of course you
Gerry,
won't judge me because all
Gerry.
it was in those shows was sex,
Sex and tits.
more
That's
fucking
literally all it
sex.
was. Gerry, I have
And
a question
there was a
for
city
you,
involved
sir.
somewhere too.
Yeah, what's your question?
Yeah. Have you seen the movies?
I bet you he has. He
Yes, I
definitely
have.
has. Yeah.
Oh, the first one's great. The first one is great.
The first one is fantastic. Do you think Carrie should have stuck with Aiden, or do you think she was better off with Big?
Aw.
With Big. Big is
Really?
cool. He smokes cigars, he's rich, and he gives her a great life. Fuck Aiden.
Aiden was the carpenter. I'm sorry. Annie had the Cocker Spaniel. I think she
Jonathan
should've
has a
stuck with
look
Aiden.
of genuine concern in his face right now. He's just like,
I
Yeah, but
fucking
I
adored
don't like
Sex
the
and the City.
second one. I don't
The
really like
second
the
one is
second
funny.
movie.
It
Yeah,
has
it's
its
funny.
moments. Yeah, it has its moments.
Miranda is hilarious in it.
I
Like,
hated Miranda. I always hated Miranda.
But in
now-
that movie, she's just like, I don't care.
so the real question is, Gerry, are you more of a what? Samantha, a Carrie? What
Yeah,
are,
who was your
Oh.
favorite? Charlotte,
Sam-
Samantha, Miranda, or Carrie?
Um,
who
would
did
have-
you
it would ha-
identify more with?
it would have to be Samantha. Because she's just
Everyone
absolute
loves a
fucking
Samantha.
nympho.
Samantha, do you know what? I think Samantha had the best character storyline development of that entire situation. She went from being a literal man-eater to finding Smith, and then she had to go through her entire fucking cancer situation as well. She grew as a character. She is the only one that actually had any legitimate development. Her and Charlotte, and like
Charlotte,
How's
but I like Charlotte as well. I
love
where
Charlotte.
ended up.
Yes,
I
her
like
and
where
Harry,
ended up. Yeah,
perfect.
they
I
were-
love
they
her
were
and
great.
Harry.
He was
Excellent.
brilliant. I thought he was brilliant in it as well.
He's
Correct
so good.
me if
He
I'm
was
wrong.
really good.
Did those actresses end up hating each other?
Only two of them.
Only two of them.
Samantha
Terry
and Carrie.
Bradshaw
Sarah
and
Jessica
Kim
Yeah.
Cattrall.
Right.
Oh, sorry, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall.
Parker and Kim
I remember
Cattrall
reading
actually
that
legit
somewhere and I
hated
can't
each
remember.
There's a new series.
other. It's only going to have the three of them in it though. Samantha ain't coming back
Samantha,
into it. Which
Kim Cattrall is not in it, which
Yeah.
is I'm not going to watch.
Which I don't think
No.
will work. They
No.
need it for.
I don't get it.
And
Like,
is she
them to do
just
the
not
movies
back
together.
in it because she doesn't get on with
she
Sarah Jessica
despises
She
Sarah Jessica
despises, yeah.
Parker. she despises her. Like there was like personal shit going on.
Oh,
in
so
her
like
life.
it's like her
bro-
choice not to go back onto it, or
Oh
is
yeah,
she like
no,
not
no,
being
it's
invited?
fully no,
Alright.
it's fully her
They
choice
wanted
not
them
come back.
all, but they
But
were
she
like,
said,
no,
"I'm not
she's not
working.
coming back.
I'm not
But
working with the horse face."
that just goes to show
That's
you
basically
exactly. That's her
situation.
exact words, yeah. But it just goes to show you how good of an actress Kim Cattrall is.
She
that
looks like a
was able-
foot.
She was able.
Who looks like a foot?
There,
Kim Cattrall is a fucking goddess, and I will not have a bad word said against that woman.
oh no, Sarah Jessica
Fucking
Parker. The
stunning.
only good Sarah Jessica Parker is Hocus Pocus Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, the tits on
Yes.
her! Holy shit! That's a different conversation. That's a very different conversation.
Yeah. Stop making me like
Christ.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Honest to God, that the makeup that she has for that, the blonde hair and the outfits that they have on that one, honest to God, that is the best fucking Halloween movie. And
Yes,
the fella who directed High School Musical is the same fella who did Hocus Pocus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that I didn't
I
know.
agree that it's amazing, and I agree she looks amazing in it. But how bad is she going to look in the sequel?
I don't.
Holy
honest to
shit! I
God,
forgot there was a sequel.
I will say this now: the makeup that like this, lads, this is Disney, right? They will fucking make her up to be a fucking
No,
Disney princess if they
no.
have to. I guarantee you.
She's
I guarantee
still
you they
gonna
will make
like
her
a
look good.
horse.
I'd say
She
they will
already
make
looks
her
like
look
a
good.
horse.
She is a horse.
Like somebody got Mala and stretched it over their kneecap.
Mm.
I love.
I mean, if a
I
bike
said,
with
Joe,
lipstick
actually,
exists,
the real
try that.
shame. The amazing thing about this is, it's like who she married. She's married to Matthew Broderick, right? And that man just did not seem to age until he hit like 10 years of marriage with her. And it's like a picture of Dorian Gray. It's like someone destroyed Ferris Bueller's portrait because he has aged just as badly as she has. And it's
Never
like,
forget,
mate, it
He
wasn't the
killed
woman you
people in
murdered.
Ireland.
To be fair, it was vehicle
What?
manslaughter. He didn't go out to fucking murder somebody. It
No.
was an accident. Get out. Like, at this point, I think, look, it's time to actually let this shit go. It wasn't intentional. It was an accident.
What happened?
He drove on the wrong side of the
has
road
a house up,
and
he
went-
has. They have a house up in Donegal, and he was driving on the wrong side of the road, not intentionally, and there was a head-on collision, and the two women in the other car were killed. It went to court. It was done. Like, he was done in a court for it. He just didn't get prison time for it because it was literally, well, it wasn't murder. Like,
Amy, I love
it
how
isn't
you know
something
so
he
much
intentionally
about this.
went
Were
down.
you on the jury?
I was not on the jury, but I
You read the
used to
case
love
file.
Matthew Broderick. It was legit an actual case study that we had when I worked in insurance. So I do know
Oh,
an awful
shit.
lot about it. So I do, yeah, fuck you. It's like, I actually have real jobs. Like, I actually am very
Really?
fucking smart when I want to be.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, when I want to be and when I need to be.
Really?
Yeah, I can be.
Pleasant surprise. It's
All right.
welcome change of pace.
Bitch, guys, thank you very much. But I was an expert witness for accident insurance. I was anytime there was like if a forensics case was coming in for attempted fraud, I was an expert witness because I was a fraud investigator.
Mm.
So I would be brought in to basically go through the logistics of certain types of accidents and what injuries can come out of those accidents. So there you
This
go.
is more impressive than that, and I'll do.
I know I'm a
My
financial
skills
consultant.
amount to people point at big thing, I lift big thing, and that's the end of it.
You're so
Nice.
good at it. You're so good at it too. Do you
My
like?
skills-
Do you like?
my-
Do you like?
boy. You're a good
do you-
boy.
When you lift
Fuck
something up,
you,
do you
Gerry.
like? Do you,
You
do
like
you-
big
I have a question. When you do lift something like really like heavy and like everyone is like, "Hey, cheers, thanks for that." Do you pull out like a situation like catchphrase?
Oh, the chest puffs out, and you're like, yes.
No, I'm sorry, because Amy, you had me there for a second. He's like, do you pull out? And I'm like, pull out what? What's he pulling out here?
That's this
Jesus.
immature little motherfucker over here. Like, he's like,
I love how I didn't cop it. I'm the one that said it. Normally I
Yeah,
do that shit on purpose.
I lift the big thing, and when I'm done, I just turn around and go, what do you think of that? And just
Oh, how was it for you?
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10.
I just casually go 4, and it just casually go 4 out of 10. Fair enough. Walk away.
Warm.
Hey, you dropped your measuring stick.
Measured
Jesus.
stick. You're being far too generous.
You dropped your ruler.
Measuring lollipop stick.
So one of the small rulers that you get out of like a math set. Don't
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
yeah,
the tiny plastic
the like
ones.
protractor
Yeah,
thing.
little
Yellow,
tiny-
blue.
yeah. Protractors, yeah, that's what they were. Fucking hell, little tiny stairs. I don't think Sex and the City is a guilty. Well, I'm a woman, so I don't think it is a guilty pleasure. But Jesus, Jerry, I'm gonna assume then that's the missus that got you in. And I have another question. When you saw the movies, was it in cinema or did you wait till it came onto TV?
You know, what the fuck do you think?
Cinema.
It was in
Cinema.
the cinema. He
It
had
was in
that
the
cap
cinema
on,
with popcorn,
pulled down,
butter popcorn. The cap
sunglasses.
wasn't down. No, the cap wasn't down. The hood wasn't up, and there wasn't sunglasses.
Oh,
There
do you
was
reckon-
an I Heart NYC.
Yeah, he was wearing like a
t-shirt
pink
as he
hoodie.
walked in.
Like
I don't want to talk to you.
His Louis Vuitton red sole shoes were on. He went in and he brought it to town. And once the wedding happened at City Hall, he was dabbing his tears while Laura looked at him in disgust and just went, "I have a child with you," and then left.
Wow.
Tell us what you really think.
Accurate.
Good
Jerry,
night,
She
everyone.
hasn't
See you
started
later.
yet.
Jerry, I love you.
Oh well, listen. That's it. The hugs are gone. That's gone. Fuck
Even
you.
Jerry, I
Des-
can
I'll
still
let
get
you
Gone.
home,
spank
right?
me. I'll let
Amy's
you
just-
spank
You
me.
can have them anytime on you.
Amy's just firing the entire crew. Fucking hell.
I never said. Hold on. Jerry will never be fired.
Oh, sorry. You forced him to leave.
There you
You
go.
know?
And there, if I make them go on their own accord, I means I don't have to do a bi-monthly podcast anymore. So it works out well for me.
I love
Okay.
that bi-monthly podcast. Jesus Christ.
I don't have a lot of free time anymore. Okay. Anya and Foxy, will let one of you who wants to go first with their second guilty pleasure. Foxy.
Uh,
He doesn't have a say, as if he has a say in the matter.
hentai. No.
I told you. No,
I was waiting for somebody to say something like that.
Porn isn't a guilty pleasure. It's a
No,
shame.
I'm
no, but that's not him. That's me.
It's even better. It gets better.
Oh.
Okay.
But no, like, actually, it's strangely enough, like,
It's in the same ballpark.
strangely enough, like, John was in the same ballpark with what I was actually gonna pick.
Is it Judge Judy?
Yes, it is.
I fucking hate you so much.
I was going to
fucking
actually say
hate
Judge
that
Judy is
show.
one of mine. I fucking love
I
Judge
hate
Judy.
Him and his
Judge
mother.
Judy
I
so
hate
much.
it.
Okay.
I hate it. It's
Oh.
literally on in the
Terrible.
house every day. It's on here in the house every day. I fucking
Yeah.
hate it.
My dad watches it all the time. And it's honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, why are you watching this shit again?
She's got to be in like her 90s now, is she? Why? Like,
She's fucking
Well,
retired.
She's like she feasts on the souls of young defendants.
is she finally done with the show, or
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
she
been
hasn't-
done
she
for
had
a
a new
while.
sh-
This shit's
She had
No,
a new
she-
show
she's
for a while.
reruns.
She had a new show for a while.
yeah, she was going not that
Judge
long
Judy
ago.
Shinan. The cases
Uh,
are real. The people
No.
are real. The
No, no.
rulings,
Rulings are
final.
final.
This
This
is her
is
courtroom.
Judge
This
Judy.
is
This
Judge Judy.
is Judge Judy.
Alex literally could say it from the time he could talk. Okay, like
So is that a thing, Foxy?
Out of curiosity,
Unfair.
Foxy,
You
when
stand
did you
there
start
like
going
that
through
with
the
hands out.
menopause?
the cases are real, the people are real, the rulings are final. This is Judge Judy.
So
Dude.
The fact that
Foxy,
he turned that into a TikTok dance is somehow more upsetting.
did you like is this a thing that'd be on TV and you wouldn't turn off, or do you
Or
actively
do you
go searching
actively like
episodes?
seek her out?
No, it's more a case of like it's like I'll avoid it.
Because
for
I've never gone
ages.
searching for an episode. I've just seen it on TV and left it
Yeah.
on.
It's
yeah,
literally like
yeah. All right, Jersey boy.
But
Jersey
fucking
Shore, get it right, you
but
uncultured
it's a
swine.
situation with him where if he walks into the room and his mom is watching it, he'll sit down and watch the entire episode.
But you actively you actively join.
yes.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what's
Oh.
worse about it. Like I will actually go to walk out the door and I'll
Oh,
hear it.
it'll bring you back.
Oh,
It's like, hey, what's going on? Like,
Oh,
on the case?
Anya, on save us. For the love of God,
Anya,
save us.
Anya,
'Cause
I
he had a
said to
good
him
one.
earlier on, if he wanted to have a good wedding day, if he wanted to win in his wedding day, he needed to run away. You're the one who needs to run the
You
fuck
need to
away.
fucking run
Yeah.
away.
Not only
You're
does he
looking
like
for
Judge
guilty
Fucking-
Judy.
pleasures, there
And
you
what was,
go.
the,
Dubious.
what was the first guilty pleasure? Right, you liked
Nightmares.
Foxy.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's
Nightmares.
Nightmares.
Okay,
It's-
right.
Oh, yes.
So and all of that, and he has blue fucking hair. Just run away now.
Anya,
Yeah?
what was your other guilty pleasure?
She told you.
I just need to. I just,
Hentai.
No, it's not. You fucking.
She's not guilty about that, goddammit.
I'm not guilty about that.
no one
That's
feels
crime.
guilty
How
about
dare
porn.
you? Anyway, with my one, it's a little different. It's not a
hope.
TV show. It's a game.
Okay. Oh, I
Okay.
think I know what it
Game,
is.
okay.
I know what it is.
Is it Catherine?
You definitely know
Yeah.
what it is.
I know
Right.
what it is.
I have an app which I use daily to play Ultimate games.
Yeah, you
What
have to
games?
explain that to the boys.
Ultimate games are a online, basically animated dating simulator,
Ah, brilliant.
and
dear.
they go in depth. Okay, yes,
They,
I'm serious.
they really do.
Really in depth.
go
They
in
really-
depth.
Is this like
do.
Hatoful boyfriend
Boyfriend,
thing?
yeah. Visual novel type.
Like shoulder deep.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
basically,
Rash.
Anya, you have started running already. I see. I understand.
But the thing is, right? You think of any scenario, I can give you a game for it. That's how much they have, wide of a range.
I'll
They
be
have-
honest with you. These
We-
games are made as if you're reading fan fiction.
But
And
they're
they
games,
go-
like
Yeah, but it's actually done in the game wise, and I've been playing the games.
And is it like kind of choose your own ending where you're never really going to fail, or is it actually
exactly?
You choose your own
Yeah.
route.
right. So
Okay.
you choose a route. You choose the character you want to play with, and then you
you want to play with, eh?
the choices
Yeah.
you make.
I
It's like a
I know
butterfly
I know
effect. It's
I
like a
know Dennis
butterfly
is trying
effect
to make a
situation.
joke. I know Dennis is trying to make a joke about this, but that is legit what it is.
Oh no,
Right.
I wasn't making a joke. I was asking.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a butterfly effect situation where the choices you make determine how the story plays out.
Like, I'll be honest with you,
Ah.
I made a particular choice, and the next scenario I regret.
get a bad ending?
I got a shit ending. I was like, fuck. And I was pissed off for like half a day.
And are these like free to play, or are these?
No, you have to
well,
pay.
yes.
Yes, and
Some
Oh,
of
you,
them
you
are.
have some of them you can
Oh my
purchase. and
God,
some of them are
Amy,
free.
how much have you spent?
$4.99.
€499.
No, €4.99.
€4.99.
I know, I was joking.
Yeah, like the
But
thing
if
is,
I
right,
wanted to, I actually have the money to spend that if I wanted to. I spoke about Jonathan about my finances earlier on.
yeah, I probably paid about
Weird flex on us poor unemployed people, but okay.
like
Finally being a finally as being a financial advisor has actually paid off, because my guilt,
That's hurt me more than anything else you've said to me this entire podcast.
wait, let me tell you something now, okay? This the thing is, I had said it to Jonathan before. When Jonathan had texted me about what the conversation was going to be, what everyone had agreed on. I was like, I don't have a guilty pleasure, because anything that I watch, I don't feel any guilt about it, because I have a reason for turning it on. If I need background noise, I will find something that is completely stupid that I don't need to pay attention to, and I will have it playing on in the background. Mainly, that will be a cartoon, because I don't need to actually focus on anything like that. So if I have Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, The Simpsons, Rick and Morty, Family Guy, Paradise PD, Future, anything like that, it will play in the background.
Just while
And
you
it's
mess on your
grand.
phone or whatever.
Exactly, just whatever I'm doing on my phone to do it. It means I don't have to pay attention to it, but I will find out that it was Old Man Withers in the amusement park, and it's not actually haunted. So, like, I mean, it's fine. That's what I'll have. If it's a TV show that I'm going to watch, or if it's something that's on TV, again, it's something that I can just completely shut off with, that I don't have to pay attention to. So, like, Chicago PD or 911, or some of those like kind of American like dramas that they always have, Grey's Anatomy, anything like that. I don't really pay attention to what's going on, but I will kind of get sucked into some of the storylines because chances are there's a character on that show that I do not like, and I know that they're going to die pretty fucking soon. So I will hold out until that character dies. It's the same with soaps. So Emmerdale is another really good one for this particular reason. They will always have shit going on, but there'll be one particular storyline where I'd be like, I will watch this until this fucker gets caught out, because it's been going on for too long and I kind of want to see. There was one particular storyline in Emmerdale was Maya. She was a teacher and she was sleeping with one of the students and she was manipulating them and gaslighting them, the whole type of situation. And I wanted to see her get caught out. So I will watch it and then I'm shut off from Emmerdale. I won't go back to watching it unless there's another
you want to see the
story.
story to its natural conclusion when you're done.
Exactly. It was the same when remember when you were asking about Home and Away. And you were like, is it a normal thing that like everyone in colleges seem to watch Home and Away because everyone watched Home and Away? Is Dennis even paying attention anymore?
I'm listening to everything you said.
Okay, yeah.
You said everybody in college watch Home and Away, and
no, Amy, I think you find the CBD is now hit and he is away.
Yeah,
I mean, it has. It's definitely made things better.
He's thinking about Jersey Shore. So like that's
which
the thing
episode
is, like,
will I watch tonight?
My guilty pleasure isn't like TV shows and movies that I watch. My guilty pleasure is everything else that I do in my personal time, my personal life, and what I would do. So my guilty pleasure like wouldn't be what I watch. It's what I do. Like if I'm bored out of my tree and I've watched an episode of Supernatural, for example, I'm like, I'm going to find someone who wrote a fan fiction about this particular series and find a better ending to what happened. So I will go to I will go and I will read fan fiction on it, and then I will judge the fan fiction, and like I will go to Tumblr and I'll just use the hashtag Dean Winchester, and I'm like, I am going to find every smutty shitty thing that I want to see in that show and I will find it here. So that would be like my guilty pleasure, to literally just turn off the brain.
With the games, the thing is, they basically are a fan fiction, because a lot of these games were actual games like created for the PSP and the PS Vita in Japan.
Yeah.
Then they converted them to mobile.
Yeah.
And they went more in depth with characters and done more artwork with them and created.
Man, Japan has some fucky games. So yeah, I can see where you're going there.
But like, it's a visual novel format. Like, it's the one thing that just really fucking clicks in Japan, and I don't think anyone can explain why. It just does.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that like, it's not something that Westerners can actually compute unless it's something like really like, well, I wouldn't say basic, but it's something that like translates like Ace Attorney. Like that's the closest like to think of that.
Yeah,
that's,
but
like,
you could see certain Japanese games, like JRPGs and stuff. You can see where they have roots in that type of choose your own thing. Even look at one of the biggest games released in the last 10 years, Persona 5. Like,
very good example. Very good example.
That still has roots in that type of thing where it's make your decisions, you know, to do what you're doing. Now they've obviously integrated loads of other shit in there as well, but you can definitely see
like,
where like that
some
popularity starts.
Really ones. There's really bad ones that I'll never play because they're just the story. No. Like it just touches on boundaries you shouldn't touch on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's the same thing as well. It's when you find something and you're like, oh, I might be really into it, and then you read what the tags are on it, and you're like, oh no,
like,
no, shame on you, shame on you for thinking that. They're brothers. You don't do that with brothers. You don't do that with your family.
Exactly. They have literally hundreds of games. And there's not just this company, there's other companies who have very different games, very different stories. And like no two stories are the same. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and so would you have like, would you know like a certain company has like say that the better games, they're the ones you're going to go for first?
Yeah. I have one company on my phone and it's Voltage Inc.
Right.
They're the best.
Okay.
Then you have other ones.
Right.
Like,
so the other ones are the types you'd play while you're waiting for a new Voltage Inc. one to come out.
Yeah, but I never have to wait. They always have new ones. So.
There's
and you have a vault. You have a vault of old games. So
fair.
Like you'll never be bored. Let's just put it this way: you will never be bored.
That's one way of putting it, Amy. Yeah, definitely.
And then they have like 6 to 8 games a month that you can play for free.
So like, I mean,
Jeez.
it's kind of like The Godfather. Like you think you're out of it, and then they reel
You're
you
back
right
in.
back in. Here I'm back in it again. This is the thing. This is what I was like saying as well. So it's like I'm never guilty about like stuff that I do. I'm guilty of shit that I buy.
Yeah.
So that's my guilty pleasure. So
Maybe you should talk about in a podcast.
That would be it.
See, here's the thing is, this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I let all of you talk about your TV shows, your movie, and your games. Like, this is like my guilty pleasure is merchandise that I buy constantly.
Well, God
just
knows
like,
you have enough of it. Jesus.
No, this isn't. Do you know what
No,
the
you don't
worst
have
thing about
enough.
that is, Gerry?
Never have.
No, do you know what the thing is? The worst thing about that is the majority of that merch is gone, all gone. I have
What have you like disposed of it?
proper gone. It's like, do you know what? I bought this for the sake of buying it because I don't ever actually wear it.
I was gonna say, do you have any issues like with like holding on to shit? Like, say you come across
Hoarding.
shit like
Hoarding.
and well, no,
Like-
it's not really hoarding. I
Okay.
mean, it's the stuff that you
Sentimental value.
buy, and say you bought it 10 years ago. Would you have an
Oh, I
issue
might
looking at
wear
it going,
this.
I want to get
Oh.
rid of that?
Not even that. It's
Oh,
like
nice,
it's
there you
it's a 6 months kind of turnaround
Right.
for me.
Okay.
If I haven't worn this in 6
Yes.
months, not
Mm.
counting summer clothes because that's a yearly thing, like every couple of
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
So like if I haven't worn it in 6 months,
Because of-
it's gone because I will not wear it.
Okay. All right.
So that's what my turnaround is. So like if I'm looking at like I'll use the wrestling merch kind of as an example. They're basically kind of just the t-shirts, but I will always wear the same particular shirts. I will always wear the Schadenfreude ones, and I will always wear my like I wear the Mustache Mountain one fair bit enough like as well. So like anything else, it's not worn, so I just get rid of it. Some of them I got rid of for other reasons because
Yeah.
I'm like shit, I'm not wearing this anymore. But yeah, like
I think we've all done that.
but like there's one particular one that I have, which is the Be Cool one, which I can't really wear in public, but I love it too much to actually get rid of it. That's bollocks. Because it works so well for every other situation. So I
Yeah.
wear that, like I keep that one around. But anything else I've been gotten rid of. But I've noticed now what I've been doing is one particular website, EMP, has now gotten majority of my wage slips because I've bought so much fucking merch off that website. That it's and like do you know what I think it is? It's not even just merch anymore. I buy just normal clothes. They sell everything on this website. They sell like just normal clothes. They sell dresses. They sell fucking homeware, shoes, jewelry, everything that I get this, right? So before this call, I had checked my finances and I went, hey, I can actually buy those Supernatural t-shirts that they're only after putting up on it. And I did, and I fucking went off and bought them. I also after buying 3 Jaws shirts from it as well. And a
Three?
Led Zeppelin hoodie.
Because one is nowhere near enough. It's actually
Yeah, well,
slightly
they're 3
offensive
different
by four.
designs. They're literally 3 different designs. Like, it's not like I'm buying the same fucking design. I also bought a serotonin in my brain. Then, yeah, I'm going to fucking buy shit. That's literally what it is. I just want the serotonin. That's why
I
buy
kind
shit.
of get where you're coming from. I'm kind of like that with video games. If
It's
I'm
like,
like,
it's one of those things, like the whole point of like having a guilty pleasure is it gives you that joy, but you know you shouldn't do it.
That's-
Yeah.
And that's legit what it is. So my
Yeah.
guilty pleasure is I know I shouldn't be buying this because I've no need for it. It's literally me pissing money away, but I feel so good when I do it
When you
that
spend
I'm
it, yeah.
just gonna keep doing it. So
It's
I mean
like,
that's where kind of like mine is different.
Yeah, it's like I do that. I do be browsing constantly, and I'm like, oh, I like this, I like that, and then I have money in my bank, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm
This
gonna
the
buy that.
worst
Oh, I
thing-
shouldn't have bought that.
You know the worst thing is, I think the worst thing about it is when you put stuff into a basket and then you have that moment of realization of like, I'm not going to actually get this, and you just kind of X out of it. Then you get the email.
say you
Hey,
left some
guys.
stuff in your
Hey,
thing, yeah,
You
yeah.
left. Hey, do you want to finish shopping? You left 5 items in your basket. Here, use this code for free shipping. I was like, I will. Thank you so much.
Or
That's
when-
like
or
me
when-
with Amazon because I Prime. So I'm like, yes, thank you.
Or when you're
Like,
just
I
after
just
getting
want
some
loyalty.
finances sorted and you get a message from a person who seems to know every time that you get paid when you have money and
Yeah.
tries to leech it out of you.
Yeah, no benefit to him whatsoever. I think the only reason why that person does that so he knows that we'll be as broke as he is.
Foxy, your camera's at the go wonky there. Can you fix it? Yeah, good man. Also, stop sending me links and stuff. It's very annoying.
I will actually say this.
I haven't enough shells.
That website. I will actually say this though. That website for EMP. They actually have this like they have so much Pokemon stuff. I was like,
what you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say
probably
that.
gonna buy. I'm actually probably gonna buy the Pokemon trainer tracksuit bottoms very soon. I don't wear tracksuits. I don't wear tracksuits out in public. I very rarely fucking wear them in general, but I bought a pair of Winchester Brothers Supernaturals tracksuit bottoms.
Nice.
They're the most expensive. They're the most expensive pajamas I've ever purchased because I literally sleep in them. I'm never gonna wear these out, but I sleep in them. But they go so well with the black and red Supernatural hoodie that I bought, which I showed you. The hoodie that I bought, it's proper clothing as well. Like it's actually a legitimate clothing site that just happens to sell a load of merchandise for shows and movies as well as normal everyday clothing. Like some of the jeans and the shorts, t-shirts every day, they're fucking activewear. It's an excellent website and they're really good with their delivery dates. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy off them. They give you a thing every time you buy stuff, and it's like how would you rate like the site, like 10 being most likely to shop again? Hell yeah, I'm gonna shop again.
By the way, everybody watching this, a big thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
I think
But yeah,
we did a natural.
Very seamless.
Some say it'd be a supernatural. Yeah, I went there. But yeah, that's where I'm at now in my life. And as we're talking about this, I'm now currently on Amazon buying pop figures. So thank you.
I feel it's just
I say I'm not going to get any more pops, but we are going to get more pops. I fucking know we're going to get more pops. We have a wall full of them.
See, I do be like browsing and shopping. It's like, what am I going to get the kids for this Christmas Eve?
I end up buying like
cares the kids at this point.
And they
actually,
they need this. And
I will actually say this. If anyone can find me, if anyone actually can find a figure of the Impala, I'd be very grateful. Because everywhere I search for it, it's obscenely expensive to buy.
How big you want it?
Like,
hey!
Oh, carry on, my wayward son.
Kyle,
that was nasty.
I'm going to find a way to strangle you with a hair clip.
What?
He does have a very small neck.
You have a very narrow neck. I've noticed that. Yeah.
I wanted to get one. I have a it's basically like a Hot Wheels version of Shelby from Gone in 60 Seconds. Eleanor, not Shelby, Eleanor. And it's basically it's the same kind of size in that one that I wanted to get, but I can't find one anywhere that's like not obscenely expensive for it, considering what it is. Like, it shouldn't be as expensive as it is. Shit, what the fuck is my password for Amazon?
Amy, would you like to do an intro for this show? Or
anyway, yeah.
What? Oh shit, yeah, right, sorry.
I knew she forgot.
Oh,
really?
I remembered. Sorry. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to this fabulous show today.
Sorry. Hold on. Excuse me. Continue.
We're just watching Amy shop at this point.
Thank you so much. I need to fucking update my goddamn poxy fucking card. All right, that's going to take me a minute. So thank you so much for joining us this week, this second month on the box set when we discussed our guilty pleasures. What are your guilty pleasures? Tell us in the comments. If you want to judge Dennis, we're actually going to put his Twitter up
Please do. We
on
love
this
you.
one. So you know what? Just slide into those DMs and just give him absolute shit. If you agree with him, have a look in the mirror and just scold yourself because that's not right. That ain't right.
And realize that you're awesome.
You're really wrong. You're
Yeah.
so wrong. Okay, Jersey Shore should never be watched by anyone. The other guilty pleasure that you had was fine. Like realistically, I don't even think that's a guilty point, sir. I can't remember what it was.
Birdemic is fucking awesome.
That's what
Yeah,
it was. Okay,
Birdemic.
yeah.
Birdemic
That's
is
what it
awesome.
was. Weekend at Amy's, where we're all going to get together and we're all going to watch Birdemic.
This still
Um,
sounds wrong. Weekend at Amy's, it just sounds wrong.
But it's so much fun, Jerry.
Have you not seen the two episodes?
I won't be there.
Or
3.
Pandemic? It's
4.
3. Yes, 3.
4 episodes.
Yeah, I won't be there.
4.
Boondock Saints, All Saints
Two.
Day,
Muppets
Jaws,
Christmas Carol.
The Revenge,
Jaws,
Muppets
The
Christmas
Revenge, yeah.
Carol. Oh shit.
They're all brilliant.
They're excellent movies. Thank you very much. But yeah, like to
Oh, you did fucking watch the Muppets Christmas Carol without me, didn't you?
okay.
Well
done, Amy.
Thank
You just
thank
broke
so
it up.
much, Thank you so much for joining us. This is why they're not getting married. Thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us on the podcast.
And another
like to subscribe.
relationship ruined by Amy.
No, she
My-
has nothing to do with this one.
My track record is incomplete. Thank you again for joining us. We will see you next time, which will probably be 4 months' time, depending on how long I can push off having to do it again, or until Jerry decides to come back to work, whichever is not that Jerry.
No,
Yeah,
no,
for
Jerry.
fuck's sake. Get off your
Different
arse.
Jerry. But yeah, so thank you again for joining us, and we will see you the next time. See you next time.
The
Over
next
and
one.
out.
Bye.
The next time. For the Sex in the City.